A gaggle of townsfolk and their respective geese gathered in the small northwestern village of Mirano to take part in the annual Goose Palio, inspired by Siena's famous bareback horse race. In a flurry of pre-race nerves, some of the 150 geese due to take part in the sprint were going through their waddling moves just one last time after months of serious training. Others were content to wait it out in cages until their moment arrived. Last year's winner, Spartacus, seemed happy to just wing it. Even the children take it seriously, dressed as birds and gathering around to hear training tips that may come in handy next year. At the starting line, competitors go over the rules for the last time. Goose prodding is strictly prohibited, and willow sticks are allowed only to tap the ground in an effort to urge the flock along the 419-metre stretch. Sadly, many of the geese don't like playing by the rules and prefer taking their own path, followed by the frantic screams of their owners. But this year's winner, Margarita, flapped in at just under 6 minutes, accompanied by a breathless 9-year-old owner, Stefano Comaletto. And as the late arrivals slowly crossed the line, they seemed to have a worried look in their eyes. Because goose liver was rumoured to be on the menu for lunch. The penguins at Gatwick Zoo near London are a popular sight for the zoo's visitors. All 5 furry birds were hand-reared and are used to human beings. But this penguin in particular is so close to her keeper that she hardly wants to be without her. In fact, penguin Pepsi follows her keeper Sue Harvey wherever she goes, and that includes some very unusual places for a penguin. The villagers are used to occasional visits by the zoo's penguins. A couple of years ago, another penguin by the name of Gus also accompanied his keeper to the hotel every now and then. Ever since then, the sight of one of the zoo's penguins does not really astonish these villagers. Since none of Pepsi's favourite food is on the hotel's menu, Sue takes fresh fish with her for Pepsi's lunch. But Pepsi can't always be convinced to eat. In fact, chilling out on Sue's lap and watching her eat and drink seems to be more to her liking. As much as the villagers love Pepsi, they are soon going to have to do without her. Gatwick Zoo is due to close, and all animals have already found new homes. As for Pepsi, she too has found a new home that is very close to her favourite hotel. These tourists are waiting for a tour with a difference. The chance to see massive humpback whales on their annual migration to Australia. Each year, whales leave their feeding grounds in Antarctica on an epic voyage of 10,000 kilometres to Australia's warmer waters in order to give birth. Whale watching tours have now become a massive eco-industry in Australia, with animal welfare groups encouraging the tours, saying they encourage respect and care for these majestic animals. The International Fund for Animal Welfare says whale tourism now contributes close to $217 million to the Australian economy. Some 1.6 million Australians and tourists took part in whale watching in tours in 2003. Whale numbers have been on the increase since the Australian government banned whaling in 1979, and this year more than 1,600 humpbacks alone have been spotted. Before whaling was banned, humpbacks were on the brink of extinction, with only 200 left in the world. John Maddison kicked off one of the first whale watching tours in Sydney many years ago, and he hasn't looked back. Maddison keeps in close contact with the Whale Research Unit on the East Coast to monitor the movements of the humpbacks. Norway, Japan and Iceland still carry out whaling, arguing that stocks of species like small minkies have recovered enough to allow hunting. About 1,400 whales are hunted each year. Australia is pushing for the establishment of a South Pacific whale sanctuary and a permanent end to commercial whaling. Australia and New Zealand are the most fervent proponents of whale sanctuaries, saying populations of some whale species are dangerously low and sanctuaries are vital to their survival. Thousands of Cambodians have been flocking to the remote province of Kpom Chang to catch a glimpse and the lick of a bull they believe has mysterious healing powers. Local villagers said the bull has already cured dozens of people from chronic and short-term aches, pains and ailments. And the news of its wonders is spreading rapidly across the nation, resulting in long lines of people who wait patiently to spend a moment with the holy bull. Awestruck Cambodians trek from all over the nation to this village and are allowed to spend up to an hour with the famous bull. This mystic wonder has been giving free treatment to anyone who arrives at his barn step since, well, just a few years ago. It all started quite unexpectedly when bull owner Putmek discovered that his chronically ill wife had been suddenly cured of her ailments. He wondered why, saw the bull sitting downstairs and thought the bull just liked her. But later, his wife recovered. Since then, he says up to 400 people have been turning up daily to be licked by the bull. But if you fail to catch the sacred creature up close and personal, other arrangements can be made. They've started distributing holy water christened by the bull. The owner says the water can be splashed, drunk, or simply rubbed on the point of your ailment for almost immediate effects. Some visitors are bringing bottles of the holy water back so they can cure themselves while at home. Others are doing takeouts with grass that the bull has touched while feeding on the plains, hoping to add it to their home-cooked meals and brew up some of its magic into their system. Though rare, this isn't the first time Cambodians, who are known to be superstitious, have witnessed magical beasts. In October of 2002, a similar healing cow was reported to have been performing miracles in another remote province. It may look like any other university building, but upon approaching, you might notice that these tenants are a little unusual. This is Monkey University, owned by a non-profit organisation called Helping Hands, Monkey Helpers for the Disabled. Its students, monkeys. The curriculum, learning to assist disabled people. The organisation has placed over 93 monkey helpers with disabled people since 1979. They've built a 6,000 square foot new modern facility just to train the monkeys to use their hands. Judy Zazula is the Executive Director at Helping Hands. She says the 2 to 4 kilo Capuchin monkey is well suited to help a paralysed person with basic tasks when a caregiver is not always available. The monkeys aren't meant to replace a family member or caregiver, but they can help fetch objects, flip switches, and start CDs in a stereo. Helping Hands start their program at a nearby zoo where the monkeys are bred, and soon after they're born, foster families adopt the animals until they're ready for school. Once ready, the monkeys join Judy Zazula, her staff of trainers, and about 25 simian classmates at the university in Boston. Trainers, many of whom are students in health, medicine and science at Boston University, work with the monkeys using voice commands and laser pointers. Rewards for the clever monkeys come in the form of cream cheese or peanut butter. The trainers start the young monkeys off with simple tasks first. In a training room built to mimic a small apartment, Alison Payne, the training coordinator for Helping Hands, works with Toby, who's already progressed a fair bit. Payne sits in a wheelchair and directs Toby holding a laser pointer and voice commands. A quadriplegic companion of Toby one day might use their head or mouth to operate the laser in a similar fashion. A red dot appears on a small refrigerator, and Toby opens the refrigerator and fetches a plastic container. Toby is rewarded. Seconds later, Toby is putting the container into a holder on a countertop. The monkey slides back the plastic covering and a sandwich appears. It's supported by the holder now and ready to be eaten. Getting a sandwich out of a refrigerator is something many people take for granted every day. But for a quadriplegic, it's something that can only be done with a little help. And the list goes on. Alison asks Toby to put a drink bottle into a microwave. Toby starts the microwave. The monkey can even help with basic health care. If a muscle spasm causes a quadriplegic's hand or foot to slip from a wheelchair, Toby pulls the limb back to where it needs to be. Have you ever wondered what it would be like not to be able to scratch and itch on your face? Toby can help with that too. As Payne demonstrates, Toby can fetch a cloth and scratch an itch. Once trained, it's as simple as a voice command and the direction of the laser pointer. More information on Helping Hands and instructions on how to donate can be found at www.helpinghandsmonkeys.org. An unusual new cafe has opened in New York, where cats can eat dishes including filet meow, deep sea delight, and cluck-a-doodle-doo. For human customers, menu options include baguettes and sodas. The Meow Mix Cafe is an experimental concept which will open a series of cafes or mobile cafes based on the success of this New York cafe. For cat owners, the news of the cafe was welcomed with enthusiasm. Frank Guiterman, who owns a Persian cat named Scarlett O'Hara, said it was a good idea to open a cafe for cats. Cat owners like Ellen Levin says that dog owners take their animals to the park, so it's good to have a place to bring their cats. Others, like Lauren Lazarus, feel cats don't have the same social graces as dogs, and her cat wasn't purring with delight at being out of the house. The cafe is part of a store that sells all kinds of cat products, from food to toys to cat litter. and it's the first cafe of its kind to cater to cats and their owners. An environmentalist in southern India has become the first person in the country to achieve the unique feat of incubating cobra snakes. Anis, a resident of metropolitan Bangalore, says the cobra eggs were given to him by a coffee planter who found the nest in one of his plantations. The king cobra, the most poisonous snake in the world, is found in the rainforests along the western coast of southern Karnataka province. It took Anis close to 70 days of careful and at times excruciating monitoring of the eggs before they finally hatched, helping him realise his long-held dream of incubating the deadly snakes. A passionate environmentalist, Anis has incubated several other snake varieties in the past. He also educates people on the relevance of snakes in the ecosystem. Snakes are worshipped in many parts of India, and it is against religious beliefs to kill snakes. But animal rights activists say hundreds of snakes die during festivals each year, many as a result of drinking milk which causes severe dehydration and allergic reactions. People have a lack of knowledge about poisonous varieties. They want only to beat to death snakes the moment they are sighted, resulting in making snakes an endangered species. Elephant mothers and their young offspring did some turns at Berlin Zoo's elephant pool as temperatures reached 31 degrees Celsius in the German capital. A diet of apples thrown into the pool by a zookeeper who appeared to envy his protégés added to the elephant's pleasure. Joachim Kornemann, spokesman for Berlin Zoo, had good news for visitors who worried about elephants getting sunburnt. He said the important thing is that the elephant's skin is totally submerged in the water. If you then add sand or mud, you get great protection against the sun. Nearby polar bears went for a swim too and enjoyed a mouthful of refreshing, cool watermelon. Hot temperatures do have their advantages. As Japan reeled under a heatwave, animals at Ueno Zoo in Tokyo were given a treat. Ice blocks filled with snacks of fruit and sausages. The polar bears, who are no doubt one of the hottest animals in the zoo, were the first to receive the frozen surprise. As people watch, the two bears pushed around the blocks, weighing 70 kilograms to get the fruit inside. Animals used to the heat also got to cool off. Asian elephants spent the afternoon knocking over the blocks and stamping on the ice to eat watermelon. And over the next week, monkeys and gorillas also had cool afternoons with frozen snacks. Is Fido out of shape? Has Rover lost his muscle tone? Or is Shep just too uncouth to present in well-groomed canine circles? The solution? Take them to the pet gym. The brainchild of Ezio Solari and his partner Marisa Baldazio, Santiago's Gym for Pets, containing special automatic treadmills, offers personalised training programs to improve your pet's agility and physical condition, making him fit for any competition or dog show. In a city of small apartments and long working hours, the pet gym is a welcome alternative to the more traditional pet exercises for many Chilean dog lovers. Some owners also enroll in the hopes that the exercise will burn up the excess energy their pets store up over long days indoors. The pet gym is situated in a 600-metre tent in the Chilean capital and was installed by Solari, who is a member of the Chile Kennel Club and has been breeding and showing Alaskan Malamutes for over 30 years. Solari explained the gym is a solution to the lack of space in Santiago. And after their rigorous training sessions, dogs can relax at the hair salon. Alongside the gym, a pet shop offers canine grooming, as well as selling pure breed puppies and dog food. All year round, mongrels and purebreds alike are invited under its welcoming awnings to transform themselves from shaggy mutts into dogs of distinction.